and welcome to Burst TV. We have a really exciting segment for you today. We're talking all things social media and breaking down barriers and understanding dental care. And I have an incredible panel with me. So if we can go around the room and introduce themselves. I am Cody. I am the Senior Director of Content and Brand Marketing at Burst. Charlotte, who are you?
I was a dental hygienist clinically for 20 years. Now I run the YouTube channel for Burst Oral Care. I help Cody with a lot of social content. So I'm a content creator, video editor, whatever hat they want me to wear is what I do.
Hi guys, I'm Dr. Sable. I'm an orthodontist in New York City. I started in social media with my TikTok account, Braces by Sable. You can follow me there. I love to make content about braces and just educate people on oral health.
Carmen?
Hi, my name is Carmen Ortiz. I'm a dental hygienist with over 10 years of experience and also a social media manager, content creator, and I manage social media marketing campaigns for O2 Dental Group.
Amazing. So as the listeners can tell, the viewers can tell, there's a lot of dental knowledge in these brains. There's a lot of social media and marketing knowledge, content creation, and we're going to try and tap into all of those things today. So the first thing I would love to know, I always find it very interesting to find out how people got onto these platforms and felt comfortable and safe to then bring people into their world. So Charlotte, for you, what was the decision?
You know, being in clinical, I needed something else to do that like tapped into a different part of my brain. And so I started blogging and doing some freelance blogging and then doing videos on YouTube initially just to kind of like have a creative outlet. And that'll make sense for a lot of people that are in clinical and people that are here on this panel. And so that was a long time ago, 10, 15 years ago on different types of accounts. And then when I started working with Burst, obviously that was about 5 years ago, we started our YouTube channel and we've been hitting it really hard to help educate our audiences there.
Carmen, did you have the same sort of experience when you were a dental hygienist? You're like, I need to scratch that other side of my brain.
Yes, it happened actually 6 months ago. That's why I saw our company, the company I was working with, they were very active in social media. And I see the importance of social media, especially in dentistry.
Dr. Sabo, how did you end up on TikTok? And when was that moment of like, oh, I'm on TikTok? Because there's a difference between being, a casual user and a forever scroller versus like, I'm creating content.
2020, my boyfriend started making a TikTok. He's a physical therapist. And so he started doing it because he didn't have a job to go to at that time because there was no one really going in office. And so then I was like, I want to do this. So I started making braces videos. And then while I was still in residency, and I love the creative, outlet that you get from it. I think it's so awesome to have the clinical side, but then be able to, talk to patients and make fun videos. I'm trying to think when the moment where I was like, oh, I'm on TikTok. I honestly don't. I think it was when I was done with residency. So maybe I'd already been posting for a year at this point. Again, it's just like an awesome outlet and fun to do something different. And I don't know if I was posting different braces videos about different colors to pick and if it makes your teeth like more white or if you want like different things like that. That really started to gain a lot of traction. And I was like, oh, people are really paying attention to this and listening to this. And so I feel like at that time, about a year in, I was like, oh, I'm like actually on TikTok giving dental advice. So it was cool.
Was there any video for any of you on here that surprised you that took off? Or do you feel like you kind of warmed up to the eyeballs? Or was there one where you were like, oh, here's the views?
For me, it's been slow and steady because I'm just usually kind of on the fly what I happen to be thinking about at the moment for my personal accounts. But the one that really surprised me, it was just a very quick 6-second trending audio with Taylor Swift, like, do you really want to know? And then the title above my head was, does your floss stink? That's like over 3 million views. And I was like, really? That's the one, not the one that I spent so much time like being so thoughtful about. It was, does your floss stink? And then the comments, they just go. And then you just jump in the comments and are they available to answer questions from there. But yeah, that was a surprising one.
Carmen, did you have any experiences?
For me, it was a patient testimonial. I feel like if people connect with stories a lot too, and the more organic that you are, the more not commercial type videos that you do, I feel people engage the most. And it was a veneer case that we did. We recorded for the moment that she got up from the car all the way to the building, and when she saw her smile. And that video has so many views and comments because I feel people connect with that patient. They also want to smile and look like her, I guess. And yeah, that was a surprise one because I have been doing content for 6 months, but that was the video.
I love that. Dr. Siebel, now that you are on TikTok, as we're going to call it, what sort of things did you do to get comfortable in front of camera? Because we notice a lot with at Burst, we have all of these dental professionals and they're incredible people. They've got so many great ideas, and then you pop them in front of a camera and people are like, ugh. And that's a natural instinct, right? It happened to me before this call. You're like, oh goodness. So what do you do to sort of feel confident in all of your knowledge and teachings and experiences on social?
Well, I think at the beginning, me and my boyfriend had a joke like, it's embarrassing until you're famous or something, just to like, you kind of just have to check all your, not shame, but anything that you're nervous about at the door. Cause I mean, at the end of the day, if you want to make videos, like you have to, put yourself out there and talk how you would want someone to teach you something. So honestly, just watching videos and then I would watch myself back, and I've learned so much about how I speak or how I could improve how I speak just by watching myself. And yeah, really just checking the shame at the door and just, I don't know, going for it and just being who I would want to watch and learn about a topic on screen. Yeah.
Charlotte, you give advice to people to get on camera, you get on camera, distill it to like your top 2 things that you tell.
Yeah, that's easy now. That looking back what I was doing previously and now what I have at my disposal. I use a teleprompter app anytime I have to go over just short sentences of things that are like very natural that flow off my tongue. So if I have a little touch of, oh, there's a squirrel. So to keep me on track and not get stressed out, teleprompters apps are the like key. And that's my biggest advice for anybody that's feeling a little nervous about it is don't memorize anything. Just use a teleprompter app. And then I tend to like music and things like that and like dance around and just get rid of some energy before I get the camera rolling.
Carmen, do you have the same sort of experiences? Because I know you work a lot in the office with the folks that are working in there, and you came from the dental hygienist background. How do you get people comfortable? Or do you just show up and you're like, we're doing it?
Well, they already know me, so they trust me. So that helps a lot because it's not random people coming to record them, It's somebody that already built a connection. So that helped me a lot. And then unlike her, I put music too. I put their favorite music. I make them relax, dance a little bit so they can get loose. And then I try to make it fun. I tell them to enjoy the recording.
Dancing seems to be the #1 theme here.
Yes, so dancing and music, that relax everybody.
Shake it out a little.
Yeah, I need to try that.
So one of the things that we wanted to touch on in this conversation is how social media is largely accessible to a lot of folks. And you see that in the news, you see that in personal life things. Like there's so much information that we finally have access to, and in ways that we want to hear it and see it. So I'd love to hear about, what you think you're breaking down barrier-wise in terms of your content.
Well, we try to get all new patients, they doesn't know about our brand or our clinic. So we try to engage with new patients and to bring new patients in, and also our Spanish community. It was a video that I was not going to record. It's always that video that you spend less time, it's the last minute thing, this is the one that's going to blow up. And I almost didn't record this video. It was the last minute thing. And I featured in that video 2 of the dentists that we have that speak Spanish. And North Carolina, we don't have that many dentists that speak Spanish. So it's a big gap with the Spanish community. They travel 2 hours to our practice to see the Spanish dentists. So in the video, they are just talking about inviting the Spanish community to come see them so they can experience, because it's not the same explaining somebody and translate when it's actually the doctor talking to you in your language. You engage more with the patient and they accept treatment even more because they understand, And I think for us is that the Spanish community and we have a lot of success. Well, I have to open a column just to see them. We have 200 leads a month for people trying to come see us. We don't know where to put them.
That's
But
amazing.
that's amazing. And that's just one video that I almost didn't record and then speak in Spanish. Just that video.
I love that. Dr. Sable, I mean, TikTokers are generally the people that are viewing very young. You're speaking directly to those folks. Obviously, you said the video about braces that stuck. I'm assuming because a lot of folks that are scrolling through TikTok have braces and have questions. So how do you bridge that gap for some of the younger folks? Or is there like a secret audience that you've tapped into that you're like, oh my gosh?
Yeah, well, I think especially a lot of the kids that are, you know, teenagers or 12, 11, 12, they love the videos just because like it answers the question like why? Because you know, when you go to the dentist, you don't really like when I grew up and when I was orthodontist, I didn't really know what was happening at all. I just knew, you know, the colors were changed, my teeth were getting straighter, but you don't know what's happening. I think a lot of people, when they know what's happening, they do a better job, you know, wearing their rubber bands, or they're like, oh, that's why I need to wear my retainer. They understand more. And that carries over where they actually do those things. And then also the millennials for sure, just everyone that didn't wear their retainer or what they should do if they have a bonded retainer. Yeah, come see me. But I feel like that's been helpful because they don't know, like, should I get it taken off? Do I get it fixed? It's broken. Like, do I need a new clear retainer? Like, there's so many questions and I feel like people just, they don't know what to do or who to even ask. So that's been interesting. I made a few videos on that, like targeting, you know, if you're 20 or 30, watch this video. And it was like, it was about, you know, if you had a little bit of crowding or retainer broke, and everyone was like, this is me, and had all these questions. So,
Yep.
yeah,
But also,
maybe easier.
I mean, I think we also need to point out that like hallway amnesia, you know, the term, like you
Yeah.
can't explain something in the office, but it's not, sometimes I'm a visual learner. So you can tell me and I'm not going to remember it because by the time I get home. So I think it's just an added like reminder, like, oh, okay, I do remember them mentioning this. Now I can actually like digest it and understand why.
Yeah, like in the comfort of your own home where you can process it.
Not
Yeah,
mom or dad or your dentist, you know,
yeah,
it's a safer space where people can really think about it.
Truly. I find that really important for my job here is that I did not come from dental. I came from production, marketing, that world. And so it's been almost like I put myself in my own shoes from a year and a half ago, where I would come in every day and Charlotte would say something and I'd be like, what? Oh my God. Because I was one of those people that did not properly clean my retainers. And then, you know, you get a video on your feed about all of the bacteria buildup and how that can go in. It changes your world, right? Carmen, what has that experience been like when people come into the office and say, I found you on social media? Is that like, I would imagine that's like the most ultimate, incredible compliment.
Oh yeah, it feels so good. It feels very good because it's like, it's working, you know?
Yeah.
And they usually saw a post about educational video because I try to have a little mix of everything, educational, patient testimonials, and behind the scenes, different procedures so patients can see. Especially Invisalign, we do a lot of Invisalign in our office, and I show them the process, you know, how it is. Whining, you know, we try to educate because you think people know like the basic stuff, but we still I have people that still are 45-year-old and they don't know how to floss. And you would think they already know that, right?
Charlotte taught me how to floss.
You would think everybody know, but that's why I try to concentrate. And the stuff that we think is so basic, but that's what people are looking for. I try when I build my content creation, I'm trying to go to TikTok, Instagram, and see what people are searching for. What are the questions they want answer to? And based on those, that's where I create my videos.
Totally. Dr. Sable, in terms of your account, is there anything that like surprises you that you are talking about again? You know, you're at this point in your education and your professional career and you're like, I can't believe I'm talking about this on social, but it really makes that impact for folks.
yeah, because I think, you know, you make so many videos and you're like, okay, what do I do now? And really it's just the basic stuff that people want to know almost over and over again. You know, how to floss. A lot, like you said, a lot of people don't know how to floss. If they need a water flosser, how do they use it? That's a big one. Teeth whitening. people, like just even basics, how teeth are whitened, which ones whiten your teeth, which ones don't.
As much as we're out here fighting the good fight to bring that quality education in a way that people understand, there's always going to be those like health hacks and those weird things that are going on. So is there anything, I know Charlotte, you have a very passionate opinion on veneer techs, but is there anything that you have noticed on social that I wouldn't want to say like concerned about, but that you feel like you have to comment on frequently to kind of overshadow that misinformation or that hack stuff that's going around?
People doing things in a mouth that they should not be doing can set someone up for a lot of failure and a loss of time and money in the future. So yeah, I am very passionate about those. But sometimes the hacks, like how to whiten your teeth, there are so many misleading, someone's like, oh, let's mix soda with lemon juice and baking soda. But then simple things like someone will say that baking soda is super abrasive. It's not. It's like the most mundane, least abrasive thing that you can use. And if someone wants to make their own toothpaste, I am fine with someone using baking soda. So I think sometimes just picking up on those little like, oh, we don't want to shame anyone for creating a video and trying to get some attention or hearing about something and then getting excited about it. But we just try to put like that positive professional spin, like, hey, I actually did study this and here's the truth of it.
Dr. Sable, do you experience that a lot?
Yeah, well, I think the main one I see is oil pulling. And again, I don't mind people talking about it or say, hey, I'm trying this. I've noticed benefits. I feel like that's one I've seen a lot. And I mean, oil pulling is fine. I mean, it's not gonna hurt you. But a lot of the studies show, you have to swish it in your mouth for 20 minutes a day to maybe reduce bacteria in your mouth. That may help you. It's just a lot of what ifs. And I hate seeing that because I just feel like if a lot of people are buying that, I'm like, they're wasting their money because who's going to do that for 20 minutes a day?
They can't even watch videos that are longer than 60 seconds. So
I think that's where I get a little cringe when I see that because I don't want people to spend their hard-earned money on things that they don't really need.
Carmen, do you experience that specifically? If you don't mind commenting on whether or not the Spanish speaking community that you work with have any sort of things that they latch onto that are like hack or trendy that feel a little.
I feel more like with teeth whitening. Everybody wants teeth whitening. And I feel like it's a lot of products out there. Some of them work, some of them don't. And that's what I sometimes say, oh, I tried this product, but my teeth I didn't see no difference. Like, I just feel like it's a lot of misunderstanding in that, like what products to use, what products to trust, and which one actually give you results. So I think one of the main ones that I see. Everybody was teeth whitening before they even fix all the cavities. So I try to educate them about that and which products they work and what product doesn't work. I think that's the main one.
So let's talk a little bit about how social has now affected your life in work and the way that you interact with your patients. Is there any difference that you've noticed since you've been able to distill these topics into like 30-second clips that go and get all these views and comments? Do you bring any new understanding to your one-on-one interactions with patients?
I think I do because I'll see a lot of comments and people will, I don't know, if I make a video, let's say about like why there's a space in between your front two teeth after you get braces, I'll see a bunch of comments and everyone will be like, oh my gosh, like I have that now, I understand why, right? My ortho didn't tell me that. So a lot of those things I'll see and I'll be like, I'll put it in the back of my head like, hey, I should tell the patient that, so that way they're not surprised. Things like that have helped me, add in telling patients certain things that I didn't before, just to help educate them better, for sure.
Charlotte, I know you said it's been a minute since you've been in op, but did you notice any changes as you started to dabble in this world?
Oh yeah, especially doing the blogs, even though I didn't have a huge following, the comments that I would help me chairside to just shorten my message. Too much, people aren't going to listen to that. So I tried to be a lot more brief with explanations and then really have good open-ended conversations instead of saying, and this is a big one for me, so many people just say, do you floss? And that to me now, knowing better, it's an irresponsible question because there's so many ways to clean in between your teeth, and people don't tell the truth about whether they floss or not. And so I would change it to something like, how do you clean in between your teeth? And do you find it hard at any time? And how can I help you? Because string floss is not the only way that I can help keep your teeth clean at home. And so that got them talking about all the things that they wanted instead of just like flossing and then a yes or no question, and we move on to the next thing and have the same conversation then, in 6 months when they're not able to clean in between their teeth. So it just helped with communication, definitely, chair side.
We have obviously a lot of dental professionals that are going to be watching this. And as we sort of close out, I would love for everyone to go around and give 1 or 2 pieces of advice for a dental professional that is looking to step into social media a little bit more, whether that's putting themselves on camera or documenting their days and feeling confident in that space.
I think you have about 1.5 to 2 seconds to get someone's attention. So you got to keep that in mind and like really be thoughtful about how you want to start a video. It can't be, hi, I'm so-and-so, and today I hear I'm just jumping on to talk about, like, you just have to get right to it. And that's something I've learned, like working with Cody and working with so many people and watching the statistics on our channels. The attention spans are really decreasing quite a bit. But I think I think I pointed this out earlier, is like when a patient asks a question, write down at that moment what that question was, because if they're asking it in your chair, there's going to be a lot of other people out there that have the same question. And then you can make 5 pieces of content out of that one question just by rewording it or changing up the visuals and kind of test out what feels more comfortable to you and what gets the most comments, and then kind of roll with that type of content. And the type of content that you're going to put out there is based on your personality and how your staff wants to get involved, and really what region of the world you're in, or the potential patients that you're trying to bring in. So you got to really talk to them as quickly as possible.
Carmen, where's your brain go when I ask about stuff like that, of advice to someone that was in your position, right? You saw the opportunity, you're like, let's do it. What advice would you give to folks like that?
They don't wait any longer. Jump into social media right now. It's never too late, because it's so important. That's a new marketing. As a marketing person yourself, that's the new thing. And social media is amazing because I feel like we can reach more people than other type of marketing. And also it's also our obligation in dentistry to inform patients good quality of content instead of them finding something that's not right. Also, to be consistent. You have to be consistent in social media, have good quality of content. That helps a lot. And like Charles said, you hook the first 3 seconds. It's very important because we're not competing for attention. It's so many new content coming in. And especially in dentistry, not that many people are very passionate about dental stuff. People are looking for other stuff. We have to compete for such as more trending and more fun than dentistry, So we really have to, those 3 seconds are super important to get somebody's attention. Yeah.
Dr. Sable?
Yeah, I would agree with that. The beginning of the video is important. Cut out any dead space, any pauses or gaps that you use, just cut it out. And then also, I think this is one I struggled with, is like dentistry is not like there's not like a definitive answer, especially for a lot of patients. So, but you on camera and on social media, a lot of times you have to speak in absolutes. Like I may say, for an overbite, this is how you wear rubber bands, but that's not necessarily the case for everyone. And a lot of, doctors, they know that. And so when you're making a video, I think sometimes it's hard to not say, well, but this also could happen, because your colleagues are watching it and they're thinking that when they're watching your video. But that's how you have to get the information out there. And if you're ever, you have to talk in absolutes a little bit. And then you can always write in the comments like a follow-up or something else you wanted to add, but you can't say like, you can't make a video that someone's going to watch and add in, but if you have this might happen, or this might happen, because it's not realistic, and people are going to get confused essentially.
That's actually a good way to get comments too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because people have an opinion, and then they can continue the conversation in the comments.
And like
exactly,
you said,
and then you can make another video
topic that can turn into like 100. The next one can be about that more specific direction. love this conversation. It's so interesting. And I hope a lot of our Burst ambassadors also find it interesting, because a lot of them come to Charlotte and I and are very excited to get on social and are like, where do I start? What do I do? And I feel like a lot of it, like, that you've spoken about is like, just go back to the basics and talk like you're talking to normal people. You know, it's not as when you break it down to that, it's not as daunting as it may seem. So as we close out, can we get your information about where people can follow you? We want to know. We want to keep up. Charlotte, where are you?
Yeah, so please do follow our YouTube channel where you're probably seeing this. Let other people see it if you know anybody else in the dental industry that really wants to get on social. Charlotte Smiled is my handle across social media, so you can find me there and ask questions.
Dr. Sable, where can we find you?
Yeah, so Braces by Sable on TikTok or Instagram and YouTube. I also have a Pinterest. If you have any questions, you can email me. It's on the link on my bio. And if you want to come see me in New York City, I work at Straight Set Orthodontics.
Amazing. Carmen, whether it's you or whether the practices you work at, where can we see that content?
You can find me both. I have my own company as a social media marketing for dental offices, and my company is Vita Social Dental. So Vita Social Dental at Instagram or Facebook. And also, I work for O2. I love, this is my first baby. So you can find O2 Dental Group in TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I feel like we could talk for hours, but obviously we all have day jobs that we need to get back to. So thank you for taking this time. I'm very excited that we got to chat, and hopefully we can chat some more in the future.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Sounds great.
Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments. We'd love to answer. And also, if you're on social, we want to follow you and see the amazing content you're making about how to floss. So drop that there too. Like and subscribe, all the things, and we'll see you next time.